Hello everyone, thanks for joining me in today's video. In today's video, we are going to implement this beautiful looking animation which I saw on some news channel and it looks pretty good. So let's dive into it. Okay, so as always, we have our Firefox editor opened up on the right with live server running on it. And on the left, we have our Sublime text editor opened up with index.html, style.css and design.txt files. Design.txt, we have some of the resources that we'll use in this project. So let's get started with HTML part of the story. So for this project, we'll need a container. So let's create that, give it a class of container. And inside that, first we'll need a p tag, which says subscribe to DPDesigns. Okay, shameless plug here. After that we have, I did Control Shift S, instead we need to do Control Shift T to duplicate, right? And after that we have a p tag which says breaking news. And after that we'll need 4 div tags, so let's create that and we'll give them class of slider. Control Shift D. Okay, let's save it. And in the live server you can see we have 2 p tags. So that's all we need from index.html. Let's go ahead to style.css for styling. We'll do some basic styling first. So let's make our padding 0, margin 0 and box sizing as border box. Okay. Let's center all the elements inside the body, and the way we can do it is we can make our body flex element, and we'll do it using display flex, align item center, justify content center. And so if I save it now, it will get aligned horizontally. If you want to align center it vertically also, we'll just give it a height of 100 viewport height. So now body has height of 100 viewport height, and there's only one div child, which is our container, so that will get centered. We can't see the container completely yet, so let's kind of specify that. We'll style it using dot container, and let's get a height of 120 pixel, width can be 90%, and let's get a background color. This is what we'll be using as a background color, so let's put that here. Control save. Oh, there's a mistake in the spelling, container. Okay, let's round the borders, so border radius will be 5 pixel. Okay, and we can center the text also, so we'll just say text align center. Okay, so let that be for the moment. And okay, next thing, let's style our p tags, and we'll be positioning them absolutely, so we'll just say p. Okay, so and in order to position p absolutely, we'll make our container a position element relatively, so we'll just say position relative. Okay, next for our p tag, we'll just say position absolute. We'll make top as 50%. We want to center the text. We'll also say left also 50%. And so okay, this doesn't kind of perfectly center it. We'll have to use transform, so let's use that transform translate -50%, comma -50%. Okay, so that perfectly centers them. Don't worry about the overlap for the moment, we'll fix that later on. All right, so that's it for p. Yeah, if we'll need anything else, we'll come back, not an issue. Okay, let's go ahead and implement our slider animation. So first let's style our sliders. These are 4 div classes that we have in the container, so let's style them. Slider, let's give them height of 100%, so it will cover complete container. Let's give them width of 10% for now, so that at least we'll be able to see them. Okay, we can't see them because we haven't given any color. Let's give that background color for the time being, let it be red. Okay, and we'll be positioning them absolutely again, so let's do that. Position absolute, top as 0% and left also 0%. Let me scroll up a little bit, and we'll also make the border as curved radius curve border, so border radius of 5 pixels, same as that of the container. Okay, so initially we want their width to be 100%, covering up the whole container, and then we'll one by one we'll kind of reduce their width to 0, and we'll implement that using an using animation. So let's implement those animation, and we also don't want this color to be red. We'll change it. Okay, now let's go ahead and style our individual sliders, and the way we can select individual slider is using nthchild on the container. So let's do that. We'll just say container dot slider, and we'll just say nth child 6. Now which one will this select? So 6th child is, this one is our first child, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. So this is our 6th child. So it will select this guy. And let's give it a background color. So we'll just say background color, and we'll pick colors from our design.txt, which is this one. Control C, Control V, and there we have. So we have our this div tag covering up whole of the container. Now let's go ahead and animate that. So for that we'll use animation. We'll just say on the name of the animation we can set anything. Let's set it to ANI 6 and let it run for 5 seconds. Let it be linear, and let it run for infinite time. Okay, and now let's go ahead and define it using keyframes. So we'll just say @keyframes ANI 6th. And what do we want here? Okay, so initially we want it to be 100% in width, so we'll just say 0% as width of 100%, and at 20%, after 20% of the animation, which should be equal to 1 second, right, because our total duration of animation is 5 seconds, we want its width to reduce to 0. So let's make its width as 0%. How does that look? Okay, but now see, it is growing again. We don't want it to grow, so for that we'll just say at 100% you keep your width as 0% only. Alright, so now it won't kind of grow back again. Okay, you can see the animation. Now we need to implement that for other child also, so let's copy paste that, Control C, and I'll just paste it here. Now this one we want it for the 5th child. The name of the animation should also change to ANI 5. Here also we'll change it to 5, and the color of the div tag we'll change it to this one, Control C, put it here. Alright, and then for this we want a little bit of delay between the sliders. So for 5th child we will add animation delay of 5%, but the duration of time it takes for the slider to reduce from width of 100% to 0%, we want the duration to remain same. So here also we'll change it from 5% to 25%. Here it was from 0 to 20. Here we'll make it 5 to 25. We need 20% everywhere. Let's save it and see how that looks. Just reload, and there you go. So same thing needs to be done for child number 4 and 3, right? So let's go ahead and implement that. Control C, Control V. Here we need to change it to 4. This also changed to 4, and this also changed to 4. Here we'll again add a little bit of delay, so we'll go from 10 to 30. And I'll just reiterate that we need gap of 20%. Let's change the color also. We'll pick this color, Control C, Control V here, Control C. Let's see how that looks. There we go, and let's do it for one more slider. Control C. Lot of copy pasting here though, and we'll have to change this to 3. This also changes to 3. This also changes to 3, and the animation changes from 15 to 35%. Okay, let's change the color also. Should be this guy. Control C. Let's paste it here. Control V. Save it. Reload. Let's see how that looks. There we go. Perfect. So sliders are behaving as we want them to be. Right, now next thing we have to animate our text so that it gets that flashy effect of the news. So for that, first initially we want them to be and the font size can be 0, okay, but let's keep it as it is right now, and then let's make them bigger. Okay, before that let's change the font also. We'll be using Rowdy's font from Google Fonts. So I have copy pasted their import statement here. Okay, you can just go to Google Fonts and search for this font and you should be able to get it. And the way we'll use it, we'll just say font family Rowdy's, and it can be, I mean, if that doesn't roll up, it can be sans serif. Okay, there we go, fonts are changed. Now let's go ahead and style our breaking news, which is second child of our container. So for that we'll just say dot container dot p, and we'll just say, oh, not dot p, p nth child 2. Okay, and here let's add the animation. Let's call it animation as big. You know, we want that font to flash and get bigger in size. And the animation duration can be 5 seconds. Let it be linear and infinite. Okay, let's go ahead and define the animation using @keyframes big. Okay, so now see, all the transition of our sliders takes up animation till 35%, and we don't for that time being till 35%, we don't want our font to show up, right? So for that, what we can do is 35%. Let's make our font size as 0 pixels, font size 0 pixels, but we'll have to do it at the beginning also, right? So let's copy paste this one, Control C. Where is our p tag? Here. So let's make it 0, right? So no text at the moment, and then from 35 to 50, let it grow 50%. Let's make a font size of 50 pixels. Okay, let's see how that looks. That looks better, but there is some problem there. Let's give a p tag complete width, right? So for that we'll just say width of 100%, and we don't want it to shrink back also, so we can eliminate that using so at the end of our animation at 100%, let the font size be same as what it is at the 50%, so that way it won't shrink. Okay, so now breaking news is kind of done, but we want it to move to the left, and then our subscribe thing can come up, right? So for that we will again modify our transform, which is transform translate -50 -50. So let's use that to move out this breaking news out of the container. So at 50% it can be as it is. Let's at 70%, let's move it out, right? Let's copy paste this part again, Control C, Control V. Font size can be as it is, but we want it to move out, and at 100% also we want it to remain there, right? Let's save it and see how that looks. Oh, we didn't add 70%. Oh, it seems that works also. Let's see how that looks. Okay, but if you see when it goes out of the container, it is still visible. So way we can hide that is we'll have to make overflow in the container as hidden. So do that, overflow as hidden. Let's see how that looks. Perfect. One more time. Okay, when our font is kind of getting of the size of the full font size, which is of 50 pixels, let it remain there for some time, 55%, and we want it to be as it is. So just copy paste it here. Let's see how that looks. It stays for a while and then moves. One more time. It stays there and then moves. Okay, so that looks perfect. And then now let's style our first p tag, which is subscribe to DPDesign. So let's do that. We'll just use this template, copy, and let's paste it here. 1. Let's change the name of the animation to big 1. And okay, it starts moving out at from 55 to 70%. It kind of our text starts to move towards the left. So we can start showing up our subscribe to DPDesign at 60%. So let's do that, 60%. Till 60%, let it be 0, and then we can start showing it up. So at 70%, it can be of the same size, and at 100%, let it keep it as it is. Let's see how this looks. breaking news, it moves out, and then you have subscribed to DPDesigns. Perfect. Okay guys, so that's all I have for this video. Let me know if you would change anything in the code to make it even better. And there are a lot of lots of animation involved. How would you compress it, right? That's one thing to look into this one. So put that in comments, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's video. Bye bye.